Welcome everybody to our coverage of the 2025-2026 Hoosier Cup, live from Compton Family Ice Arena on the campus of the University of Notre Dame. We've got the St. Andrews College Prep Saints versus the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eagles. My name is Dylan Ward. I'll be joined by tournament director himself, Jeff Morrow, here for parts of this one. Jeff, welcome to the South Hockey Network, and the teams are warming up right now, but first, I just wanted to talk about the history of this tournament. This is the 10th year. First time you're doing it in the month of November, usually in February. How did this tournament come to be what it is today?
Well, this is the 10th year of the tournament, Dylan, and welcome, and thanks for having me. We walked in here about 12 or 13 years ago, my wife and I, my son, and we said, what a neat place to have a hockey tournament. So we inquired, we talked to Mike McNeil, and it came to fruition in 2016. And as you know, we've had teams from all over the country here. California, Illinois, Texas, Florida. We've had them from all over the country. And they all come here for one purpose and one purpose only. It's to take their name and put it on that cup.
Well, all over the country and another country, Canada, St. Andrews College Prep Saints from Canada, as you've expanded. But I do want to ask you, this tournament is being held in the month of November here for the first time, usually in February. What led to that change?
The leaves. The leaves change in October and November, and we thought that it would be quite quaint with the football season on us and to have it here at Notre Dame. And it's been resounding. People love it. It's great. They get to come visit a beautiful college. We missed the snow by a week.
Yes.
But you know,
it's a good thing too.
The move to November was because of scheduling conflicts, and we're still trying to work some things out, as you know, with Illinois and Minnesota to try to get the best teams we can here. And I think we're going to be successful going forward. It was a bold move on our half to do this, and it's been met with pretty good reception.
Well, just a couple weeks away from now, another tournament organized by you and the PA Hockey Association, the Governor's Cup in Jamestown, New York, which is always a classic. We covered that one last year on the South Hockey Network, planning on doing it once again. Glenbrook South, the defending champions, they've won it twice in the last 3 years. Are we going to see a lot of the same teams from this tournament in Jamestown?
Quite a few, but you're going to see two teams for the first time from Connecticut. South Kent High School and Norwood's Free Academy are coming over there. And we have a team that's really red hot right now. Well, two that we want to talk about. Lake Forest is really having a great season. They're coming out of Illinois. They're going to challenge Glenbrook South, but everybody's talking about Seneca Valley. Seneca Valley has been running the table in Western Pennsylvania. So we'll have some new, have some old. The one we're going to miss is Holy Ghost Prep. For the first time in 19 years, they're not coming, but they have vowed to return next year and play in the tournament. So got a great field in Jamestown, great field here. And boy, do we have some drama left today with a lot of one-and-one teams and teams trying to get in. We want to remind everybody about Orchard Lake St. Mary's. This was an experiment on my behalf with Brian Clance, the coach of Orchard Lake. Michigan does not allow their teams to play 2 games in one day. They're here for a 3-game exhibition, and they've showed very well with 2 resounding victories.
Yeah, Orchard Lake 2-0, a 6-4 win over Culver, 5-0 over St. Ignatius. They've got 9 points per period out of a possible 10 on the other side of things. St. Andrews, this is just their second game. We'll see them again later tonight here on the South Hockey Network to close out the night. They had a 5-0 win themselves over University School. They have got 4.5 points per period through 1 game, so obviously the most possible there is 5. And Jeff, I mean, these are 2 powerhouse teams, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see one, maybe both in the championship.
Well, Orchard Lake's not going to play because they're going to play the exhibition schedule, but I agree with you with St. Andrews. I think we could see them in the final, no question.
All right, so warm-ups have expired. Teams meet at their bench and talk things over. We're just about ready to go here. 15 minutes and a fresh sheet of ice here on the same ice that hosts NCAA Division I hockey in the Big Ten.
Yeah, we got to see the Michigan State Wolverines, well, not Wolverines, the Spartans of Michigan State last night defeated Notre Dame 3-1. And I was sitting with some folks, and we were talking about it's a preview to the NHL with the NCAA games. There were 12 NHL draft choices on the ice last night for Notre Dame and Michigan State. That was quite exciting to attend that game.
All right, we're just about ready to go here. The designated home team is Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eagles. In goal, they'll go with John Ward II. How about that? Wow. Same name as my dad and me, Jeff. My middle name is Dylan. My first name is John, so how about that? Didn't even pick that up.
Well, Gerard fixed this all. He took care of us. He knew this was going on. He reviewed the rosters, so we're going to blame him for that.
As for St. Andrews, Sam Paquette in net. We are underway. We thank you for joining us here for our coverage of the Hoosier Cup. We've got a quintuple header for you today. 5 straight games here on the main rink at Compton Family Ice Arena. Lefty Smith, as it's so called. Here's a quick shot. That one stopped by Ward. Now back up high. This one missed a man. It'll go all the way down. And it's picked up by Matthew Boyda. Battle behind the net. This one sent up high. Here's a quick shot and a save made by Paquette. Rebound regain. Matthew Boyda. Now Diesel Carrera. He tries a shot that gets blocked. Near side corner right in front. They tip it just wide.
One thing you'll notice about Orchard Lake St. Mary's, they like to manage the puck very well. They wait for their chances and get high-quality scoring chances because of that.
Both teams, very similar color schemes. Almost looks like we're watching a Wisconsin exhibition as a man is hit into the boards, and that's going to be a penalty against the Eagles. And a quick power play just a minute, 4 seconds into the game.
St. Andrews plays a similar style to, believe it or not, a lot of the Illinois teams. They do a lot of puck possession. They're not overly physical, but they're very strong on the puck, as you find with the most Illinois teams that you watch, Dylan.
All right, so a power play for the Saints. Looking to make it 2-0 here at the tournament, playing in their second game of the day, or of the tournament, I should say. A quick clear by the Eagles. Now behind the net, Michael Murphy, one of their alternate captains. Goes out to the neutral zone, and it's Connor Welsh. Bringing it over the line, has some space, he shoots. That one blocked and sent behind the goal line. Now a few men battle, near side corner. Ty Pari tried to get it back up to the right point. It leaks outside the zone. And St. Andrews College Prep will have to tag up, but they couldn't in time, and they're called offside.
Orchard Lake is the 2025 state champions in Michigan. This is their first venture here. Brian Clance does a wonderful job, and he's assisted. If I had the lineup, I'd be able to tell you the gentleman's name, but gentleman that played for the Air Force Academy, very nice young man. And we had a chance to visit with him yesterday, and he was telling us the joy of coaching these kids.
These Saints are the only team to have 2 guaranteed games broadcasted. They're opening up our quintuple header, 5 straight games, and closing it out later tonight as they'll face off against St. Ignatius here at 8 o'clock Eastern. Now Ben Wen. Bert Wen, I should say. Behind the net now Ethan Charter. Still in the power play are the Saints. 40 seconds to go. Sent up to the left point. Phoenix Alfredson takes a shot. That one stopped by Ward. Now to the near side. Bert Wen again takes another shot, deflected behind the net. Wen gets it back. Actually, it goes back up to the right point. Tap down low. Wen to the left side. Alfredson takes a shot, gobbled up by Ward, and he hangs on for the save. 12:13 to go first period. Dylan Ward alongside Jeff Morrow and our technical engineer, Gerard Boris. Happy to have you with us on this Sunday.
I'm waiting for Danny DeVito to come in, and we had Jersey Mike's for lunch. Make sure we're not taking his job.
Very delicious. Big thank you to you, Jeff. And your assistant tournament director, Bobby Valenti. You guys always put on a great show.
We're very blessed to have The gentleman I was speaking of, the coach who played in the Air Force, is Josh Schaefer, is the assistant coach to Brian Clanow.
Good to know. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Morrow, if you missed it earlier, the tournament director here for the Hoosier Cup as this shot is stopped. Penalty is over. Jeff, I want to take a moment to talk about the unique bench situation here at this rink. You've got benches on opposite sides, penalty boxes both on the same side. Have you ever seen that before at any other rinks?
Well, I'll give you a little insight. I had the chance to tour the building with one of the folks that works here, Mike McNeil, who's the operations director. And the Notre Dame bench is a foot higher than the visiting bench, and it's strategically placed by the penalty box so they can get quick changes. So it's a real unique situation here at Compton. This is just a beautiful facility, and those of you that haven't been there, please plan to come. It's quite fascinating.
No doubt about that. As this one is sent down, but no icing as it took a deflection. 11 minutes to go, waiting for our first goal. That'll be an icing the other way, stopping the clock with 11:06 in the first period.
One thing that we want to discuss here is the programs. And St. Andrews College Prep has a prep school program, and then they have their U18 program that you see here today. Their prep program produces National Hockey League draft choices. And I don't have any of the names here, but just an impressive hockey program. Great people to deal with as well. The folks, Greg Reed, Norm McCauley, were terrific in coming here this year. And we had Joel Morrissey here last year. We want to say hello to Joel. And we're very happy to have them and pleased with their performance so far.
Well, Jeff, you always organize a great tournament and somehow get some of the best high school hockey teams in the country together to compete in the National Invitational Scholastic Showcase. Here's a shot from the left side, stopped by Paquette and sent up into the netting. We do have a chat. Isaac Collins Ward says John Dylan Ward back doing what he does best. Thank you, Isaac. That is my cousin. Feel free to use our chat feature. We'll throw the chats up on the screen as they come. Just make sure they're appropriate.
So you're related to the goalie from Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Not related, but the exact same name, although actually the exact same name, John Ward II. How about that? I am John Ward II.
We're going to have to see if we can get an interview with this guy.
Yeah, we might just have to.
We want to remind everybody we'll have some interviews in between the second and third period of some of the games later, and we'll let you know once we set those up.
Back up to the point. This one sent deep, regained by Phoenix Alfredson. All the way down it goes. Ward plays it off the near boards, and it leaks outside the zone. Big hit there, right in front of the Orchard Lake bench. And they'll regain the puck, send it back into their own end.
Little feeling out process here. These teams not giving up a lot of scoring chances and pretty conservative play at both ends.
Here's a quick shot. No one knew where it was. It was kicked to the blue paint, sent out of harm's way. Down to the far side. Sent up ice, and here comes St. Mary's. Colton Sussex tried to get across the line, but it is an offside play. Let's take another look at that centering pass. They tried to go off the goalie there. Right here as he kicks it. And I believe that would have counted it if it had deflected off the goaltender, because it wouldn't have been a direct kicking motion into the net, just a deflection off the goalie.
We might have had to go to Toronto for a review.
Well, we got the cameras, right?
Yes, sir.
This one centered right in front. Here's a point-blank chance and a big save. Ajax Chan could not beat, not Ajax Chan, but Colton Sussex, the other 28, could not beat Sam Paquette.
When you get those scoring chances in between the circles, you better make them count, because you don't know when you're going to get many of them with these two fine defensive teams.
Now out through neutral ice, over the line. Here's a shot attempt. That one blocked by St. Mary's Jeffrey Burkett. Now down below the line. Live from Compton Family Ice Arena, home of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in the Big Ten for hockey. Here's a shot. Didn't get a lot on it. Then he tried to bank it in off the goaltender. Goaltender thought he froze it, but now an outstretched pass, and here comes St. Andrews. On a breakaway, unable to pull it to his forehand was Ty Puri. Now a shot from way up high, tipped by John Ward, up and into the near side corner. Still waiting for our first goal, Jeff. So far on the day, we've had a lot of games see early goals the first couple of minutes, but we're just getting to that halfway point of period number 1 and nothing yet. There's a shot from the left side that rolls through the blue paint. Now back up high, this one thrown to the net, but missed. It is kept in the line there by St. Andrews, Ajax Chan, but here comes St. Mary's the other way. This one centered and taken back below the goal line. Nearly every team at this tournament is a Catholic school, with a few exceptions, such as North Allegheny.
Our defending champion.
Yep. This one tipped right in front. Wouldn't go. Now Orchard Lake. Far side corner. Try and get it outside the zone, but it's kept alive by the Saints. Left circle shot, that takes a deflection off a leg and goes back to the far side half boards. Stretched out and bringing it up ice, Matthew Boyda. He goes across. Here is the captain. Leaves it for Boyda, he shoots, and that one is stopped. Just getting enough of the blocker on that one and staying in the rink by about an inch. We're early, but in case you're wondering, every game here at the Hoosier Cup will produce a winner. We'll have a 5-minute overtime period as necessary and a shootout. The points per period standing system is interesting. So the number 1 tiebreaker, so to speak, is just your flat-out record. Wins, losses, and overtime losses. But then if teams are tied in those points, you go to points per period. So it is important to try and win every period. And because of that, Jeff, there is no running clock in the third if a team has a 5-goal lead.
That's correct.
Here's a turnaround shot. That one deflects wide.
It could be a half a point if we've seen in many years. I can remember, and you probably remember this, Dylan, at Jamestown when we had that bracket with 9, 8, 7.5, and 7 with Regis Jesuit and Holy Ghost Prep. That was phenomenal.
You'll have to remind me. Now for St. Mary's, here's a shot and they score! Nice release by Thaddeus Rainish, and the first goal of the game goes to Orchard Lake. It is 1-0 with 5:32 to go in the first.
Good play by Thaddeus. What he did is he bumped the puck ahead on the replay. You'll see this. And he got it in between the circles. He had his head up. Watch him come down the middle of the ice, has his head up, looking, then fires. Uses the player's defenseman as a screen and just buried it in the far corner. Nice shot.
So the icebreaker belongs to number 13 in white, Thaddeus Rainish. As we get back to live action here at Compton Family Ice Arena.
And as I said from the outset, Dylan, Orchard Lake looks to make plays from the middle of the ice. They're very patient in setting the play up, and they like quality scoring opportunity.
Now the other way come the Saints. Connor Welsh over to the far side. This one backhanded down below the goal line. And John Brown will take it back. Now it's Cam Sussex. Out to the neutral zone. Miscue there allows Burt Wen to try and get it back the other way, but it's taken right back by the Eagles. Final 5 minutes of the first period. Come back into the zone down the right wing side. They backhand this one below the goal line, but it's picked back up by St. Mary's. Long stretch pass. Colton Sussex waiting at the blue line. He'll get it down deep while he goes off for a change. Ty Kohler. He's hitting to the near side boards. Now regained by Fleming, I should say, as it's brought over the line by Charter. Centering pass. Here's a shot by Fleming. And that one wouldn't go, stopped by John Ward.
Yeah, Ward stood his ground there. What you'll notice, oh, here's a good chance here.
Yeah, one hand on the stick of Brayton Condrat, but the save is made on the other side by Paquette. Go ahead with that
I
thought.
wanted to finish my thought with Ward. What he did is he stepped into the play, had his feet outside the paint, and was solid on his stick and made a really difficult save look pretty easy.
Again, we appreciate you finding your way to our stream here today. Be sure to leave a chat. We love interacting with you watching at home. As this one centered, puck bobbling in the slot. Here's a shot and a nice save made by Paquette.
Paquette really stood tall in the net there. He tried to sneak that one up in the upper corner, and he stood tall on that. Very good opportunity.
Left point now, St. Mary's. Plays it to the right side circle, but nobody there except for Phoenix Alfredson to send it back down the other way. Delayed offside. So St. Andrews will have to tag back up. And back the other way comes St. Mary's. Dumped down below the goal line. Picked up by St. Andrews. Battle of the Saints here today. St. Mary's brings it back in. Right circle shot off the stick of Charlie Roberts, and that one is stopped.
And one thing you'll notice about Paquette's style of goaltending, he's very much a stand-up goaltender. He gets his feet outside the paint, and he stands tall in that net. So he's a tough guy to beat. St. Andrews is very lucky to have a good goaltender as himself.
I'll show you that replay one more time. Here's the save he made. Right off the draw, a shot is stopped by Paquette again. St. Mary's continues to pressure. Back up to the right side. Now centered, here's a shot deflected, and I believe he gets a piece of that one. Now left point, fired to the net by Connor Welsh, stopped by Paquette. Another whistle with 2:21 to go in the first.
Yeah, you're noticing a pattern here with St. Mary's. One thing they do is they stick to their game plan. They move the puck very well. They're very unselfish with the puck. They move the puck from the side to the center, back to the points. They're a very unselfish team and very well coached.
Face-off win for St. Mary's, left point. Here's another shot stopped by Paquette. He allows a rebound, but it's quickly grabbed by his teammates. Connor Welsh.
Welsh made a nice play to get that one out of danger.
Now Summer Bashi. Near side corner, Thaddeus Rainish. He's the lone goal scorer, number 13. In this 1-0 hockey game. Lifted high and out the other way. Picked up by Jeffrey Burkett. Now brought over the line on side. Dominic Pizzo takes a shot, and another save by Paquette.
Good job by the linesman to step in and diffuse that little extracurricular activity. These two teams are pretty clean, though. As you know, 16, 17-year-olds, there's a little chirping going on out there, Dylan, but these guys are here to play hockey.
Yeah, you think? Especially in a competitive tournament like this one. We'll see if we get any OT in this 5-game slate
and
here on this Sunday.
The illustrious 5-man shootout.
Oh, yeah. Soccer style. I know Glenbrook South had a 5-man shootout against North Allegheny in Jamestown last season.
Well, and they came on in the short end, and I think it fueled the fire for them to win the championship.
Yeah.
They never looked back.
How often do you see a team win one of these tournaments with a loss in their schedule, Jeff?
It's becoming interestingly, good play.
This one poked ahead, maybe a holding the stick, but St. Mary's gets a rush up ice. Penalty called by the trailing ref as Murad's shot goes wide. We'll see if it's a penalty shot, but as of now, it's a delayed call. And no penalty shot, just a 2-minute minor for slashing.
Yeah, good play by the captain there, number 14 for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Ty Kohler. He just pushed the puck ahead, and he made the defenseman. He put him in a perilous situation where he had to take the penalty. Good heads-up hockey by number 14.
So he'll sit for 2. We've already had a power play in this game, but this one's going the other way to St. Mary's. We'll see if they can double their lead. This power play will carry over into the second period. if you're new to the high school hockey format, no full intermission between the first and second, just a brief timeout at the benches. They'll cut the ice between the second and third.
And that's a philosophy we've held with our tournaments for over 30 years. We cut the ice after the second and before each game, so it's consistency.
Now, I know some tournaments it'll vary depending on the schedule. Sometimes you'll have the ice cut between the first and second.
It's quality instead of quantity.
You want to talk about quality ice, it's Compton Family Ice Arena right here. This one sent over to the right side circle. Here's a shot stopped by Paquette. Time winding down in the first period. As it's rung around the boards, it leaks out of the zone. And the horn sounds. 15 minutes in the books here in South Bend.
So I want to talk about ice cutting and how the Zamboni does things. They have a control room here like no other at Compton. I've had a chance to see this place. And there's no screw unturned here, Dylan. When you'll notice they're cutting the ice, there's a big pole that sits at the back of the Zamboni. And that's an ice lever. It cuts it to 1/32 of an inch the way they want it. This ice is in perfect shape. The general manager here, Mike McNeil, and his assistant, Macaulay Lukenda, they're very particular about how they cut the ice. They have a Division I hockey program. I know the Hawks have played here some exhibition games. Mm-hmm. They're very, very mindful and proud of what they've done here. But that machine is an ice leveler, and it's controlled by the control room in the back of this building. And Gerard, when we have the second intermission, you may want to take note and show that pole that's on the back of the Zamboni. It's pretty cool.
All right, well, we'll try our best to do that. 15 new minutes here in the second period. St. Mary's holds a 1-0 lead. Lone goal scored by Thaddeus Rainish. They'll still have 1:14 remaining on the power play to begin period number 2 as the teams get ready to switch sides.
One thing we want to mention to the viewers at home, 2:45 we're going to have St. Joseph's, the upstart team here from South Bend, with a 1-1 record. They had a big victory today against Jesuit College Prep. They're going to take on Calvert Hall. Then we'll see the Central Catholic Vikings out of Pittsburgh at 4:30 against University School Preppers. And then we'll have the defending champions, the North Allegheny Tigers, taking on the Providence Catholic Celtics. That game will be at 6:15. And the nightcap, St. Ignatius, the 2024 state champions from Ohio and 2023 Hoosier Cup champions, are going to take on this same St. Andrews Prep. So we got an action-packed day. We might need to get a little more Jersey Mikes in here for you, Dylan.
Well, that St. Joe's game was incredible. They had I believe it was a 7-1 lead going into the third period, and it ended up being a bit of a close game at the end. 7-5 the final score of that one, but they did hold on for the victory. And we're underway here in the second period. St. Mary's in white and St. Andrews in red. This one thrown up to the Big Ten logo right beyond the blue line. Don't be shy, folks. Leave us some live chats. I know you see the message room. We love interacting with you at home. Here's a shot from way up high. Didn't miss by much on the rebound. Sort of fanned on his shot there was Max Stewart. Or excuse me, Dominic Pizzo. 25 to go on the man advantage, but this one's brought over the line. Nice move between the legs, but eventually could not collect the puck. It was Burt Wen. Now St. Mary's. This is Emmett Pilch. Centered this one to the slot. Here's the goal scorer, Rainish. Leaves it back up high, down near the goal line, sent right to the slot. Here's a shot, one-timer off the stick of Jacob Hughes, but the save is made by Paquette.
Well, that was interesting because you saw the play again in between the circles, and goaltender Paquette came out and played big and centered his body to the puck, or else that would have been 2-0.
See a behind the net cam replay right here.
And he got back to the middle of the ice at 6. We have our assistant tournament director, Bobby Valente, chiming in here.
Here's a 2-on-1 centering pass, and this one sent over the net. No save necessary for John Ward II. Now to the blue paint once again, just tapped high of the crossbar.
I'm
way
gonna
up high,
I'll have
another
to
save.
step out for a minute and see what Bobby needs. See.
Jeff, no problem. Here's another chance, and they score! St. Andrews on the board. It's Matthew DiCapo, and he ties the game up 1-1.
DiCapo made it, and for all you youngsters at home watching, a great play. We had a stick down on the ice. He intercepted the pass, and he made no mistake beating Paquette or Ward on the stick side.
About as unassisted as it gets, Jeff.
Yeah, that's a lesson for young players. Play high in the slot. Keep your head up. Keep your stick down on the ice. Sometimes you get breaks like that. Tie game.
All right, we've got a lot of hockey to be played here. Jeff, if you're going to call him back, I'll mute your mic for the time being. Careful, Jeff. You're yanking the cord here. And Jeff Morrow should be back with us in a moment, but Dylan Ward here on the call with you. St. Mary's looks to respond. Here's a shot from the left point. That one deflected toward the net and is stopped by Paquette. Now far side corner, they battle for it. Down to the corner once again. Behind the goal line, sent to the near side for St. Andrews. They can't get it out. Ethan Charter. It's kept alive by Kohler. Now St. Mary's hacks it back deep again. And it's cleared out once again. We've got a tie game here at Compton Family Ice Arena, home of the Fighting Irish of the University of Notre Dame. Division I hockey rink here in the Big Ten. Kept alive at the point. Here's one deflected twice on net, and the rebound is stopped by Paquette. He holds on for another whistle. Both goaltenders have been shining so far tonight, but especially Sam Paquette, the junior. Shots on goal unavailable here at this tournament, but he's made plenty of saves so far. Now from the left point, here's one thrown to the net. That one's kicked away by the left pad. Now in the corner. St. Mary's hacks it down below the goal line once again, and it's picked up by St. Andrews' Phoenix Alfredson. Jeff, sounds like you are back from your brief break. Hope all is good with Bob Valenti.
Administrative duties needed there.
Yeah, I understand. You've got a tournament to run here. What a move here, getting ahead of the D and forcing a shot on net. Somewhat of an easy save for Ward, but nonetheless still a stop. Jeff, someone needs to tell the scoreboard operator here in the rink to put the goal up for St. Andrews. Still says 1-0.
Maybe they're from Michigan. Yeah,
Don't
we
worry.
know it's 1-1.
We've got it right on your screen.
Gerard's on the case. Not much is getting by him today.
No.
He should be a goaltender.
10:52 to go in the second. His son is a forward.
I wanted to just bring up, just so people understand at home, we had a situation with the 16th team. We was unable to travel, so we had to go with 15. And Providence was kind enough to play 4 games in the preliminary round, and their first 3 games will count, and their 4th game will not.
So their 4th game is against North Allegheny. Let me just make sure I have this right, Jeff. That game will count for North Allegheny,
yes,
right?
Sir.
But not for Providence Catholic.
That's
okay,
correct.
Good to know. Here's a shot. That one wouldn't go. And then also Orchard Lake St. Mary's, you mentioned, will not be eligible for the playoff portion of this tournament, right?
Yes.
And why is that?
Well, their Michigan State rules don't allow them to play 2 games in 1 day. So
then they would have to. They would have a chance to.
Even if they get to the semifinals, they couldn't play 2 tomorrow to compete for the championship. So, the fairness, and Brian and I talked about that. We're working toward that for next year. We're hoping that Michigan relaxes their rules and allows them to compete.
So, in terms of the standings, there are really only 14 teams competing for a chance at the trophy.
That's correct.
All right, we'll keep that in mind as the drama rolls along. Here's a shot from the top of the left circle. That one stopped by Paquette.
Somebody didn't tell Orchard Lake St. Mary's they're not playing for nothing because they look pretty good out there.
Hey, listen, Jeff, I don't think, these boys, I mean, obviously, a lot of them do follow the tournament format and all that, but at the end of the day, they just show up at the rink and they want to win a game. They don't care if it's preseason, exhibition, or playoffs. They're playing to win every single game.
And every single period as this tournament unwinds, that's the goal for each team that plays here. Win every period, win every shift. And it goes a long way to them being state champions that they are of Michigan. They win every period and every game.
Jeff, not sure if you caught it in real time, but there was a penalty called against St. Mary's. Dominic Pizzo, the senior, has a seat for 2 minutes. And St. Andrews will go back to the power play. Here's a centering pass coming over the line, left side. Here's a shot stopped by Ward off the stick of Charter. Now around the boards and all the way down.
I've decided that Ward can't be related to you, Dylan. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he's a good goalie.
Well, Jeff, listen, I never played hockey, so.
We love you anyway.
All right, well, I appreciate that, I guess.
We got to have fun here, Dylan, or we'll go crazy.
Listen, I'm a little disappointed at all you folks watching at home for not using the chat feature here on our broadcast. We love interacting with you back at home, and we'll throw your chat up on the big screen for all to see. Please send us some messages. Let us know your thoughts on the game, questions you may have for Jeff, the tournament director. And we'll be happy to answer all of them. This one centered to the slot tip, but not a lot of juice on that one. St. Mary's looks to bring it back out the other way shorthanded. Here comes Roberts. Charlie Roberts over the line. He'll try a shot. That gets blocked by St. Andrews. 1-1 the score. St. Mary's opened the scoring in the first period. St. Andrews responded here in the second. This one sent over to the right side and played out once again by St. Mary's.
Good hustle there. That's our goal scorer, number 13.
And Thaddeus Rainish back up to the point, sent down to the circle once again. Power play coming to an end. This is Tak Yoshioka. Yoshioka goes down to the left or right side circle. Here's a shot deflected on net, but stopped by John Ward. Now that one just barely missed hitting Dominic Pizzo's stick as he's fresh out of the box. We have a big hit into the bench as one of the St. Andrews players was buried into the St. Mary's bench.
These teams are not overly physical, but sometimes they lay the lumber to somebody.
I don't think we caught that on our main cam. We'll see if we can see it on the right goal cam. Look carefully on the right side of your screen. You can see this hit. Boom! Gotta love those plays. We stay tied 1-1 over halfway through regulation, Jeff. These two teams seem to be pretty evenly matched, and you called this was going to be one of the better games we'll see all day. So now St. Mary's comes up ice. Daniel Ramos takes a shot right side. Getting his stick in the way is one of the St. Andrews players. Number 3 out there, Jeff, and I'm going to go ahead and blame you for this. I don't have number 3 on my roster for St. Andrews. And
maybe
these are the rosters
alien
that you prepared as well.
Uh-oh.
Dylan Ward alongside Jeff Morrow, Gerard Boris, our technical engineer.
Maybe a typo.
We'll look into that maybe at the intermission. Jeff, it's been fun having you on the broadcast with me. This is the first time we've actually done this. I've interviewed you plenty of times here on the South Hockey Network, but fantastic to call a game with you.
We want to say hello to our good friend Jimmy Philbin.
Here's a shot. That one is juggled in the air and eventually caught by Paquette. Yeah, I wonder if Jim Philbin is watching this. I know Glenbrook South plays Loyola Gold at 4
preparing
o'clock.
to see Sam at the pub at Jamestown for a beef on weck.
All right.
Which we know
We'll
is one of your favorites. You denied Gerard a beef on weck last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think so.
Well, that doesn't sound right. We'll be doing the same sort of style coverage at Jamestown first weekend of December. Looking forward to that very much. St. Mary's now comes up ice the other way. John Brown trying to center that one, nobody home. Now left point, Daniel Ramos. Down to the circle, goes across, right side. Here's a shot and a nice glove save through a screen. Somehow tracked that one and caught it with his glove for Paquette.
The one thing about traffic in front of the net, what it does, it backs the goalie into their crease a little bit. And I like to see goalies that are aggressive, that come out and demand. And you see a lot of goaltender interference in the National Hockey League, and that's why, because a lot of guys get in front of that net, and they're physical, and they try to take away the eyesight of the goaltender.
For those of you who may have not grown up playing hockey or don't watch hockey regularly, blocking the vision of the goaltender, such a key part of the game. That's why you see so many players on the attacking team go right in front of the blue paint. You might be thinking, what are they doing? They're just going to block the shot. But no, they're taking the eyes away. Here's a shot. And listen, a lot of these guys can find the top corner. They know how to aim the puck. It's just a matter of blocking the goalie's vision and not letting him know where it's going. Because the goaltender, if he's got a clear line of sight, he's going to stop most of those shots. Here's a shot from the slot. That one missed the net wide. Just as I say that, we have one that doesn't hit the net. Here's another shot through more traffic, but stopped by Paquette again. Score is 1-1, Jeff.
Good hockey game. Both of these teams are pretty efficient, Dylan. They move the puck. When they get the puck in the offensive zone, they're very deliberate in trying to set things up, and they always have 3 or 4 guys moving in and out of the play, especially St. Mary's. St. Mary's has some really nice offensive strategy.
Back underway, thrown up to the left point. It's sent down below the goal line. Big hit into the end boards, and that'll be a penalty.
Interference call.
Yep, ref blows the whistle with 4:31 to go in the second. And we're going to get another power play here in this one.
Our mysterious number 3 for St. Andrews.
Yeah. Actually, St. Mary's going to the box. It's going to be Emmett Pilch. So 2-minute power play for St. Andrews. Looks like we do have some chats. Mario LeBlanc says, watching from Dippy, New Brunswick, I believe that's MB. Thanks for great commentary. Go Paquette, go. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. Paquette has had a really solid game in net so far. He'll be relieved of action here. That puck sails over the protective netting and into the stands.
I saw one of our resident football officials, a friend of Bobby Valente. He put it was an open field goal there.
And I just want to highlight the outstanding camera work by Gerard Boris. Watch this replay. Look at how he tracks that puck all the way down the stairs. Just great stuff.
Now he should be able to get a picture of the pole on the back of the Zamboni then.
And that's coming up. Just 4 minutes and 19 seconds away. We do have one more chat. Ariel Negron, go Diesel Carrera number 22. Love Big Sis. Thank you for commenting. Please keep them coming. We'd love to interact with you watching at home, and all of you watching at home who appreciate this stream. It's the exact reason we're making it happen.
Well, Dylan, we want to thank you and Gerard for coming all the way over from Chicago. A lot of hard work this morning to put things together. It can't be under, and we're real proud to have you along with us.
Well, Jeff, I'll go right back at you and say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for getting us set up. Stay the night in the hotel. We will be bringing you one of the 2 semifinals tomorrow morning. I believe, Jeff, at the main rink, it's going to be 1 versus 4 in terms of the seeds. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
All right, so
that'll be at 8:30. 8:15 will be 2 versus 3.
Okay, 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. That's Eastern time, of course. And then we've got the championship later on in the afternoon. And Jeff, I hope by that point we have some music in the barn.
We're going to have to get the illustrious J.P. Joubert, the voice of the Irish.
Okay, let's make it happen.
He's coming in this afternoon, I think, on a Lear jet. Nice move there.
Yeah, it was. Can collect his own puck, and it's a clear. 45 seconds to go on the power play for St. Andrews.
Little history here, Dylan.
Go for it.
Okay, let's see how good you are. How many different states are represented in our champions of this tournament?
In the champions, huh?
Of the champions we've had over the first 10 years, how many states are represented?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I know California won the first year, a team from California.
Orange Lutheran beat Glenbrook North.
Yeah, they're offside there. Then I know there was a lot of Illinois, St. Ignatius from Ohio, North Allegheny from Pennsylvania. Let's try 4. 4 different states.
You needed one more, buddy.
What did I miss?
Edina, Minnesota in 2024.
Ah.
Defeated North Allegheny in a double overtime shootout.
Incredible.
I don't think that was an overtime shootout. I think that ended with about 1:15 to play, if I'm not mistaken.
In the overtime,
yeah.
huh?
North Allegheny lost it, then comes back the next year and wins it.
Well, sometimes that's what you got to do. Jeff, you might remember 2023, the Panthers made it all the way to the Stanley Cup final before losing to the Golden Knights. They followed that up with 2 straight cups.
Yeah, they did. You have to win before you or lose before you win sometimes.
Absolutely.
And St. Ignatius, they won in 2023, defeated Edina. Edina comes back the next year and wins it over North Allegheny. Then North Allegheny won it. But we want to mention the run of Glenbrook North and New Trier over 5 years.
Yes.
Followed by Glenbrook South in 2022.
Now the power play long over, by the way. This one thrown right in front. We're down to 100 seconds left in this second period.
We have a barn burner here.
You don't say. 1-1 the score. St. Mary's struck first. St. Andrews tied things up in the second. This one sent all the way down, and it will go far enough to be an icing.
Okay, here's another trivia question for you, Dylan. How many schools have won the Governor's Cup of New York are represented here in South Bend this year?
Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and put my hand up on that one and say I have no idea, but I will try and take a guess. Let's say 6.
You're a little heavy on that one.
A little
buddy.
heavy, huh?
Yeah.
5?
2.
Okay, 2. Which 2, Jeff?
University School won in 2023, and Culver way back in 2012.
Yeah, Culver Academy has been a staple of your tournaments, Jeff, whether that be Notre Dame or Jamestown.
Who's won the most Governor's Cups of New York?
That I don't know either. St. Andrews, up ice.
5-time champion. The Holy Ghost Prep Firebirds, got Whiteside.
I know they lost to GBS in the championship in 2022. 43.5 seconds on the clock. Will one of these teams take the lead before heading to the locker room? We will find out shortly.
Who has the second most Governor's Cups in New York? Now you, near and dear to your heart.
You're peppering me. Would that be Glenbrook South?
Nope.
Glenbrook North?
Nope.
New Trier?
Yep.
There you go.
New Trier Green won twice. New Trier Blue with Graham, and I can't remember the other kid's name.
We've got Kate Cybor. Hope I'm saying that right. Go number 35, John Ward. Love Aunt Kate from Michigan. I've got news for you, Kate. Are you talking about me or the goaltender? Because my official name is John Ward. I go by my middle name, Dylan, as St. Mary's brings it back the other way. Even better, he's listed on my roster as John Ward II. I'm John Ward II. My dad's name is John Ward. So
we needed a complete investigation in between periods.
Well, we got Kate Cybor watching from home, so we'll be giving you a call, and I guess Jeff will be doing that, and we'll complete the investigation. Time winding down on the second period. And the teams will head to the locker rooms tied 1-1. 30 minutes have come and gone, Jeff, and it's been an exciting, low-scoring game. Both goaltenders have been fantastic, and it's going to come down to basically a 15-minute game to decide who wins it.
Yeah, and I think it's the golden scoring opportunities from the middle of the ice. Both goals were scored from the middle of the ice. One on an intercepted pass and another from a nice shot where the guy looked the goaltender over and shot to the far side. These are two well-coached teams, first of all. And secondly, super goaltending, good positional play, good defensive work. It's a joy to watch these guys play.
All right, well, don't go anywhere. We'll stay live right here on the South Hockey Network. Zamboni will get to work, give it about 10-15 minutes, and we'll be back for third period action right here, live from the Hoosier Cup in South Bend, Indiana.
let's get all this clutter behind you.
Welcome back to the South Hockey Network, everybody. Third period just about to get underway here between St. Mary's and St. Andrews. Dylan Ward, happy to have you with us alongside Gerard Boris, our technical engineer. Jeff Morrow, who was with us for the first two periods, is still not back in the broadcast booth yet. He is our tournament director, so he's got other duties to attend to, so hopefully he joins us at some point here for this third period. But for now, just me. As we're back to our first period shooting sides, St. Mary's in white, going from right to left here on your screen, and St. Andrews Saints in red, going from left to right. St. Mary's scored in the first period, open the scoring, and they score here. Oh my goodness, that one deflected off the end board and got past the goaltender. That was a crazy bounce, and it's a goal for the Saints. Ajax Chen will receive credit, the defenseman, and it is 2-1 St. Andrews. They take their first lead of the game. Just a fluky goal allowed there by John Ward after so many key stops. And a big tone setter. So we're back underway. Let's see if St. Andrews can find some momentum after that, or if St. Mary's is going to look to respond. Nice drop-off pass. Here's a shot. That one stopped by Paquette. Now back up to the right point. Here's a shot that gets blocked, and St. Mary's will have to chase this one back out to the neutral zone. Daniel Ramos. Off the far boards and out to neutral ice. Backhanded to the near side. Picked up by Jacob Hughes. Not to be confused with Jack Hughes, who just broke his hand at a team dinner the other night. Player for the New Jersey Devils. He's going to be out for 4 weeks, it seems. Just wondering how you injure yourself that badly on a non-hockey related situation. Laid off the far wall and down into the zone. St. Andrews gets it back. Now picked up by Owen Fleming. He'll wrap it around the boards to the far side, a hit into the boards. And now St. Mary's will bring it the other direction. They'll come over the line, left wing side, getting all the way to the net, and forcing a backhander was Cam Sussex, but the save was made by Paquette. Let's take a look at that one again. Lots of speed there for number 18, White. But Paquette has been solid in net, as has his counterpart, John Ward. 10th annual Hoosier Cup, first edition of the tournament to be held in November as opposed to February. Puck being battled for near side corner, and it's brought back out the other way by the Saints. And Ajax Chen, who just scored the go-ahead goal, now sent right in front, deflected on net by Michael Murphy, but the save is made by Ward. This puck gets sent all the way down, and we'll go for an icing. Got a few more chats. Amy Cudavi says, "Go Daniel, number 21, Eagles, family watching from New Jersey." Glad to have you with us, Amy. Watching my nephew Dominic Pizzo while our family decorates for Christmas from Michigan. Go Domi. That comes to you from CAG. From Uncle Carl, Aunt Tracy, CJ, and Bella. Keep the chats flowing. All you people watching at home, love to interact with you. We hope you're enjoying our broadcast here on the South Hockey Network. For any Saints fans, we're going to be broadcasting your game again tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. And that'll close out our 5 games in a row marathon. Now back up high, here's a shot by St. Mary's. Save made by Paquette, goalie out of position. And a man is held in the slot. And the ref had a front row view. Hooking, as a matter of fact, is the call. And that'll send St. Mary's back to the power play. Pretty easy one for the ref to make the call on. So a big opportunity for the Eagles to tie things up. St. Mary's looking to go 3-0 here in the group stage of the tournament. And pending tiebreakers, 3-0 is most likely going to get you into the championship bracket, the semifinals tomorrow morning. Near side circle now down below the line, Matthew Boyda. Back up to Charlie Roberts. He'll take a shot deflected, and somehow absorbing that one was Paquette. Looked like it was going to leak through. But Sam Paquette has been a big difference maker here in this one. 11-12 to go here in the third period. 1.5 to go on the penalty to St. Andrews. 2-1 game in favor of the Saints, who came back from down 1-0. At the blue line, they play catch. Here's Boyda with a shot, and Paquette makes another save. Hanging on to this one with 10:53 to go in the third. Our next broadcast here on our quintuple header will be the St. Joseph's Huskies against Calvert Hall Cardinals. That game is scheduled to begin in the neighborhood of 2:45 Eastern Time, or directly after this one. Now Roberts. Puck taken away, and a backhand arch out by Phoenix Alfredson goes all the way down to the St. Mary's net. Kept in the zone at the blue line. Short-handed are the Saints. Taken back by St. Mary's. Here comes Roberts down the right wing side. Puts on the brakes near the goal line. Goes back up to the right point. Slides it across for Jacob Hughes. He lets one fly. Missed the net, hit the end boards. Now Roberts. Looking over his options. Eventually goes to Matthew Boyda. Now Roberts gets it back. Left circle. Tries for the top left corner. Couldn't find it. Now Ramos. Down to Boyda again. Ramos gets it back right point. Slides it over the left side. Jacob Hughes takes a shot. That one appeared to hit the post. Now Hughes has it again. Waits. Goes over. Power play expiring. Here's one sent down low near the blue paint. They tried to center it one more time to the slot. Didn't work out. So we're back to 5-on-5 play. The score remains 2-1 in favor of the Saints. Now here's a shot from in close. That one stopped. And the rebound is sent out of the zone. Will it have enough for an icing? That goes directly on net, so it will not be called that way. 9:10 to go here in period number 3. No ties here in this tournament. We'll play all the way to a winner. Here's a shot, save, rebound, and that wouldn't go. I'm not sure if the save was made by Paquette or it hit the post. Tough to tell from our angle. All the meanwhile, an injured player face down below the goal line for St. Mary's. Tough to tell who that player is. We don't have the numbers showing from our vantage point. But a silence hits the rink here as the injured player still yet to get up. And they'll call one of the assistant coaches out to have a look. Meanwhile, we'll show you this chance. Sort of became a 2-on-1, the initial shot. And then the follow-up, I think Paquette does get a slight piece of it before it goes off the post. Or maybe not. Maybe it went off a defender. Looks like the injured St. Mary's player is Matthew Murad, senior forward. And we just hope he's okay. Well, good news. It took him a while, but he's able to skate back to his bench without assistance. Although certainly laboring, looks like he's in pain on his right arm. But he's going to stay on the bench. We'll see if he gets any more shifts. Number 11 in white. But another good sign is he stays on the bench instead of going to the locker room. Or maybe he will go to the locker room. Or at least just stay back there and get checked out. Resuming action here with 8:50 to go here in the third period. St. Andrews 2, St. Mary's 1. This one sent out to the neutral zone. What a reception on the pass. Fighting off a stick check is Thaddeus Rainish. He's got the lone goal for the Eagles so far today. Now back up to the left point. Lucas Cum. And grab back, centering pass wide open. Here's a shot, and what a save made by Paquette. Emmett Pilch looked like he had that one buried. No way, said Sam Paquette, the junior goaltender for the Saints. Now a giveaway. Here's a follow-up shot by Matthew DiCapo. But that one missed the net. No save necessary for John Ward. Back and forth we go. Here comes St. Mary's over the line. This one dropped off top of the circle. Here's a shot that sails past the net. Now grabbed on the left side. St. Mary's up high. And to the far boards, not cleared out. And brought up ice. It's going to be a 2-on-1 for the Saints. Crashing the net, getting a shot off is Ethan Charter, but the save made by Ward, and he hangs on. Some back and forth action. Chances for both sides. Here's the point blank chance. Wow, what a stop. Made by Sam Paquette. Both these goalies have been outstanding here at Compton Family Ice Center, or Ice Arena, I should say. Here in South Bend, Indiana, home of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish of Division I NCAA Big Ten. They just played here last night against the #1 team in the nation, the Michigan State Spartans. Lost that one. On a bit of a losing streak are the Fighting Irish. Hopefully they'll get their stuff figured out, but they've just played some of the top teams in the nation. College hockey is a spectacle here in the United States. And you talk about just a gorgeous facility. And it must be such a treat for these high school players to skate on this ice. Heck, it's a treat for me to be broadcasting here with my partner, Gerard Boris. 7 total games between today and tomorrow, 5 straight today. And we've got one of the semifinals tomorrow as well as the championship. Not quite crunch time yet, but getting close. 6 minutes to go in a 1-goal game. Carlton Sussex, but it's dumped back in by the Saints off the end boards and settled down by Ward. Off the far boards and down, that took a deflection, so will not be an icing. Behind the goal line now, this one's centered, but that goes off the skate of one of the Saints players. A man's hitting to the end boards behind the play. Hey, it looks like our man is back here in the broadcast booth, Jeff Morrow. I know you're a busy guy this weekend running this tournament, but I was worried there you wouldn't be here for the ending of what should be an exciting finish.
So what I'll tell you is there's implications for playoffs for this game here.
Okay, lay it on us.
So DeMatha is now 2-0. They defeated Culver 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
And St. Edwards, out of our finalists from a year ago, is 2-0. and they meet each other at 8:45. So one of those two teams is going to either have a loss or an overtime loss. So there's a distinction that maybe two teams will be undefeated going into the medal run. And St. Andrews has the lead here. If they can cap it off and win this game, they'll cement themselves as spot in the medal run.
So St. Andrews, you're saying, is a lock to make the semifinals if they hang on.
Yeah.
All right, very good to know. Well,
and either DeMatha or St. Ed's.
Well, I'm sorry, you're saying St. Mary's, if they come back, is a lock, right?
No, St. Mary's is ineligible.
That's right. Well, St. Andrews is only 1-0, right? So
they're 2-0. Oh, they're 1-0. You're
yes.
right.
Yes, they play St. Ignatius later tonight.
Yeah. And St. Ignatius is back in the picture because they're 1-1 now.
The chaos of the one table, right? Just instead of the groups, Group A, C, B, and D, it's just all 16 teams are in the same league, for lack of a better term, and top four make it. Whoever played who.
And who doesn't make it goes home.
That's right. Here's a quick shot. That one sails wide. Jeff, I'm not sure if you caught the go-ahead goal by St. Andrews. It was a wild play. I'm going to have to show you the replay when we get a second after the game, but here's a shot. That one stopped. 4:36 to go here in the third period. Dylan Ward and Jeff Morrow here on the call. We have a new chat. Jacob Pearson. Let's go St. Mary's, number 9. Go Blaze. Aunt Lisa and Uncle Jake watching in South Florida. Number 9 is Blaze Kroll, senior forward. Glad to have the Kroll family watching. I'm sure the weather down in South Florida is nice right now.
That's golfing weather, Dylan.
Oh, yeah. Hey, it was golfing weather yesterday here in Indiana.
Little too wet for what.
Yeah, and windy as well. Now St. Mary's back into the zone down the left wing side. Man knocked off the puck, and it leaks just outside the blue line. St. Mary's has to retreat. We're getting to that time, Jeff, where we'll keep a close eye down to our right and see when John Ward might make the sprint to the bench.
Think he'll sprint up to the press box to meet Uncle Dylan?
Yeah, he just might. This one arced high off one hop. It's turned aside by Ward. Now given back to the Saints. They can't get a shot off.
So this sets up a big game with St. Ignatius and St. Andrews College Prep. And the one thing that we try to keep tabs on, Dylan, is the rest period between two games. We try to give these teams at least 4.5 to 5 hours rested between games so they have sufficient rest to be able to play top-notch hockey.
My understanding is I think USA Hockey has a mandatory 4-hour period between the start times of the games.
We think it's better to have 5, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
And to keep things at a fair level.
The fact that these boys are playing 2 games in one day at all is impressive enough. And the fact that some of them only have 5 hours in between. You know, I mean, these are young kids who are in very good shape. You know, they can handle it.
But always thinking, you know, you want to limit the chance of injury and have them at top-level performance.
Nearly a breakout pass waiting at the blue line was Cam Sussex for St. Mary's, but he didn't retrieve it.
Yeah, St. Mary's has got to start getting the puck in the zone with zone time. Here's a chance.
This one centered, but a nice diving play, and getting a stick in the way was Zachary Minode, senior forward, making a good defensive effort. 2:20 to go here in the third period. All these games crucial if these teams want a chance at the bracket. We'll see what Orchard Lake St. Mary's does. Remember, they're ineligible, as this shot, I believe, got a part of the post or maybe the side of the net. Now here comes St. Mary's the other way. Leading the breakout is Jacob Hughes. He'll cycle back. Send it across to the right side.
One thing you touched on, Dylan, these kids could care less about the bracket. They want to win the hockey game.
You could see John Ward starting to creep out and wait in between the hash marks. Now he'll skate back as the puck enters his defensive end. Out to neutral ice. This is Charlie Roberts. He missed a man with his pass, and that'll be a costly icing for St. Mary's as we get down to 1:26 in the third period. They're down by 1. They'll take the face-off in their own end.
So if you're St. Andrews College, you want to keep the puck deep, keep 3 guys high. You don't have to pressure the forecheck, but you're trying to keep the puck out of your zone. And Paquette he's ready. You can see he's on attention.
A reminder to you that both teams still have a timeout in their back pocket. One of my favorite rules in hockey, by the way, 1 timeout per game. None of that basketball or football stuff. Keep the play moving. Thaddeus Rainish, the lone goal scorer, plays it off the near boards. There goes Ward to the bench. So 6 attackers are out for St. Mary's as they look to tie this one up. Lucas Cum takes a shot. That miss goes off the end boards. Now Emmett Pilch. Back up to Bashi. Goes down below the goal line with it. Saints try and clear. It's kept alive. Lucas Cum off one skate, goes right to Dominic Pizzo. Now over to the right side. Here's a shot that gets blocked into the near side half boards. 40 seconds left here in the third period. 1 goal game. St. Mary's looking to tie this thing up. It's Radish. Taken away by the Saints. They'll play it out to neutral ice, and St. Mary's must tag up. This one intercepted. Looking for a chance at the empty net is Burt Wen. He'll try one. That gets blocked. St. Mary's has to move quickly as we're down to 17 seconds. Thaddeus Rainish knocked down below the goal line once again. 10 seconds to go. Here's Cum. Finds his man Rainish. He's over the line, takes a shot, but they're offside with 3.3, and that might have just cost them the game.
On the right wing, yeah.
Good call by the linesman. They'll leave 6 attackers out, of course. Drop of the puck is sent into the zone, and the horn's going to sound. That's going to do it. St. Andrews wins this one in comeback fashion. Found themselves down 1-0 after the first period. Scored 2 unanswered, and a low-scoring game goes the way of the St. Andrews College Prep Saints.
And St. Andrews, unlike Culver could not solve St. Mary's, nor could St. Ignatius. They played a steady defensive game. Paquette was excellent in goal, and they deserve to win. You know, this is a hard-fought game.
So the teams will shake hands at center ice as per tradition here in high school hockey and many other levels. That's going to do it for our broadcast of Game 1. Just to remind you, please stay tuned. We're going to get started here in about 15 minutes or so for game number 2 of 5 in a row here on the South Hockey Network, as the St. Joseph's Huskies will take on the Calvert Hall Cardinals.
Yeah, and St. Joe's looking to submit the medal round. They have 5 points right now and a 1-1 record. They're along with at least 5 or 6 teams that have a chance. I was going to mention Jesuit College Prep. They won their second game, so they're 1-1. It's going to be interesting this afternoon to see how it unfolds and who moves on.
And as for the St. Andrews College Prep Saints, don't forget, your team is now 2-0, and we've got one more broadcast for you as the Saints take on St. Ignatius at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll do it for the broadcast for my partner, Jeff Morrow, and our technical engineer, Gerard Boris. My name is Dylan Ward, saying we will see you for the next one. Stay tuned as we keep rolling along here at the Hoosier Cup.
Yeah, I want some extra